Katie Mense from Little Kinder Warriors, and I'm here today to talk to you all about ESGI, how easy it is, how user-friendly it is, and how you can make it work for you. In this session called ESGI is EASY. So before we get into it and start talking about all of the different ways that you can make ESGI work for you, I'm going to tell you just a little bit about myself so that you can really see how ESGI has worked for me and made my life better and easier. So, as I said, my name is Katie, and you may follow me on social media at Little Kinder Warriors, but I am also a wife. I'm a boy mom of 3 boys. They keep me very busy. I am a kindergarten teacher, a blogger, I'm a TPTer, I'm a presenter, a daughter, I'm a sister, a best friend, and I'm an animal mom to 2 cats, a dog, and 7 chickens. So you could say I'm a little busy. And all of those parts of my life are all important. They all take time. And time is what ESGI is going to save you. It's going to give you so much time back to your life so that you can put it in all of these other areas that are just as important to you. But here is my most important job. Like I said, I am a boy mom. I have 3 little boys. Well, I shouldn't say little anymore. I have 3 boys, and they are all boy. They are very busy. They keep me on my toes, and here they are. This is Grady. We call him Gray. So Gray is going to be 11 in just a couple of weeks. That's him, my blondie. I don't know where he came from. Blonde hair, blue eyes, but that's him. My challenge of life. And then here's Finn. He just turned 8 last week. And then this is Brody. He's my more easygoing kid, but you guys, he is going to be 13 in November. I'm going to have a teenager. But this picture over here on the right shows my house at 8 a.m. on a snow day. That is what my house looked like at 8 a.m. That is real life. That is how it always is at my house. So, like I said, they keep me on my toes and they take a lot of my time. But here's a little secret about me, okay? Like I said, if you follow me on social media is, like our highlight reel. We share our strengths. A lot of time, we'll share the happy stories. We'll share the fun moments that are happening in our lives and the really exciting, great things that we've done. Okay, well, let me tell you, I am not all strength at all. Here's a little secret about me. This is my brain at all times. It's like I have 1,000,003,000 tabs open. I'm constantly thinking of different thoughts, different ideas, 1,000,000 things running through my mind at all times. And then to say I have adult ADHD is an understatement, okay? So here's just a little graph of what I'm actually doing when I'm supposed to be doing report cards, for example. Okay, we'll start down here on this pink one. Wondering if it's too late to change careers. We all do that, right? Especially when it comes to, for me anyway, when it comes to report cards, paperwork, any of that kind of stuff. Taking a much needed break every 10 minutes, getting lost in Insta stories, organizing snacks to eat, crafting the perfect playlist, sobbing uncontrollably on the floor. This one, browsing Pet Finder and naming your future kitten. I think that one's so funny because if you're like me at all, you're constantly switching back and forth and back and forth and back and forth. And you just get lost in this rabbit hole of something sometimes, totally random. And then when you come to, you realize that like an hour has passed by. So these things are hilarious. Texting friends in a desperate bid to procrastinate, totally me. Sorry, friends, especially those friends, like, the friends that are going to be awake with you at all hours of the night, the friends that have the brains like this, okay? The friends that are type A and have their plans and routines and everything in order, they're going to go to bed at their normal bedtime, and I'm going to be the person over here staying up as late as I possibly can until I literally cannot keep my eyes open any longer, right? That's me. And then here's me actually doing report cards. Okay, so I've shared with you some of my weaknesses, and here's me when I was little. Okay, I'm going to show you a close-up of this. Are you ready? So this is me. People often tell me that I am the perfect boy mom, but look at me, you guys. I'm like this total dirtball. I love being outside. I love exploring. I love all of that kind of stuff. And then here are some things that describe me as a little girl. So I remember, I'd be on my way to school and I'd say to myself, okay, Kate, today is going to be a great day. You're going to listen. You're going to, take in everything that the teacher says to you today. But that never really happened, okay? Because my brain would just drift to whatever I wanted to do and whatever interested me, right? And school did not interest me at all. It still is upsetting to me after all of this time, when kids get in trouble, when I see kids get in trouble, and this happens all the time, when I see kids get in trouble for not paying attention. Why aren't you paying attention to me? Why aren't you listening to what I'm saying? Well, maybe the kid is not the problem, okay? Maybe you need to find ways to engage. Maybe you're just not that interesting right now. Maybe you need to take a little bit of time to get to know that student, find out what their interests were. Because if we ever talked about going outside, going camping, talked about nature or different kinds of trees or different kinds of insects, I would have been totally into it. So sometimes all it takes is getting to know your student. That's just a little rant. Sorry, got off on a little tangent there. But this is also me. I was that kid that had everything shoved in the back of their desk for the past year. You might find a fruit roll up. You might find that permission slip you were supposed to turn in last month. So yeah, that was me. Not very responsible, not organized at all. And of course, my room always looked like this. So yeah, that's me. I am not at all an organized person by nature. And like I said, you see me on social media, and so you might think I'm the person that has everything together, because I don't usually. Every once in a while I will, but people don't usually share those weaknesses out there for everyone to see. You're sharing your strengths, you're sharing your happy moments, you're sharing, so the perception of a person on social media is usually a lot of times not all 100% accurate. Parts of their lives, yes, are very accurate, but you're not seeing everything, okay? So I'm going to share another little thing with you, and this is going to be very painful for some of you, okay? Are you ready? I know this is going to hurt some of you, but this is an actual screenshot of my phone. Yeah, that's me. And I know that for some people, I know many people that even if that little notification even has a 1 in it, it gives them serious anxiety. Now, let me tell you, I got some serious anxiety, but not about a number on an icon on my phone at all. Because to me, a text message comes through and it says, okay. I can see that it says okay. Why do I need to click on that text message? And my friends are like, because then it shows that you've read it and you don't have a little red 1 on your phone anymore. But that doesn't do anything for me. So if I can read it, I don't click on it to show that it's been read. And I will admit that can be a weakness, because I'm also the person that forgets to respond to emails and text messages. And when you've got 539 unread text messages, then you don't know which ones you've read and which ones you haven't read. Like, I understand that. But it can also come in handy sometimes as well. When you don't delete emails, and I don't ever, that gives me anxiety. To delete something and have it be gone forever, like that gives me anxiety. I don't delete emails ever. And I definitely don't take my time to sort through them and put them in different folders. I know a lot of my friends do that too. I'm just not your typical teacher brain type, I guess. That kind of stuff does nothing for me. Now, in the physical classroom, I have to have things because I know that kind of structure for my students is important, that I can just grab. I know exactly where things are and that we don't waste time, and that kind of flow is important. But when it comes to making all of our days run smoothly, but when it comes to emails, paperwork, text messages, that is my weakness, you guys. But it can, like I said, come in handy because somebody says, hey, remember that email that the superintendent sent like 6 months ago that said blah, blah, blah? And I'll just be like, and I'll go and I'll search it. And guess what? Bam. Because I never delete anything. I can always go back and find those old emails. But anyway, okay, moving on. This is a great quote for ESGI. I found this quote and I was like, oh my gosh, this is ESGI to a T. So it says, time is free, but it's priceless. You can't own it, but you can use it. You can't keep it, but you can spend it. And once you've lost it, you can never get it back. Time is just kind of a weird thing when you think about it like that. Like once it's gone, it's gone. There's no going back. Okay? And as I've shared with you, not being an organized person, this was my life before ESGI. And I know that no matter what kind of personality type you are, if you teach kindergarten, pre-K, you can totally relate to this. Okay, this is going to look familiar to you. So if you've been teaching it for any amount of time, for sure you know this. So you've got all of your millions of different skills on all these separate sheets of paper. And you've got everything all ready, all spread out. Okay, you call your first kid over to start testing. You finally make it through this testing when you've got the other kids doing centers or, doing something that's familiar to them to keep them all busy at once. So you finally get through your first kid with testing. Great. Go back to your center, go back to your free choice, whatever you're doing. Call your next kid over. All right, it's time to teach. It's time to test on shapes and colors. Notice that the shapes and colors one is hand drawn by me. And never fails. Get to that. What did I do with my shapes and colors? Oh, I can't find. So then here you are. Get a blank sheet of paper. Draw it all over again. Okay, now tell me these shapes. So you're wasting time recreating these things. And again, if you teach kindergarten, pre-K, you don't even have to see the words, but you know what that is. That is a kindergarten report card with the 5 billion little boxes that it's going to take you weeks to fill in by hand. Okay? And what happens? What happens to something when you have to hold on to it for that long? When you're filling out 28, yeah, I have had a class of 28 of those kindergarten report cards with the 5 billion boxes, and you put them in your giant teacher bag, and you take them home along with all of those testing sheets for every single kid, and you take it all home, and you get it out, and then you put it back in, and it's starting to get, dog-eared and bent up, and then it starts to get like this mystery sticky stuff on it, and then you take it out at school, and then, or you take it out at home, and you get to school, you forgot to put it back in your teacher bag. So now you can't even test the kids that day. And I mean, you could draw your shapes and your color words and your colors out again and test every kid on that. And then you got to keep track of that because, you know, you don't have all their file folders to stick it into to keep them organized by kid. And then you take them all home again, and it's just a disaster. And let's say, oh, you know, you bring them back to school and you didn't have time to test anyone that day. So, you know, then you're getting ready to go and you throw everything back in your teacher bag. What happens to those? They just got smashed down in the very bottom of the old gum pieces and the wrappers and the dirt and the old paper clips that poke holes through them, and they're smashed in the bottom of your teacher bag. And then you take them out and it's like an accordion. So anyways, maybe it's just me. But that's how life was for me before ESGI. And you know, I could lie. I wish I could say that this was me and I had all of my testing all organized and I knew where everything was, but let's be real. It me. This was me. Okay. Well, now life after ESGI, this is literally what testing looks like. You have a device. It's all there. One thing that you have to keep track of, and you don't even have to keep track of that specific device. You can pull ESGI up on your laptop, on your cell phone, on your iPad. You can use it anywhere in the school. All you have to do is log in, esgisoftware.com, log in, and you've got all your information right there. So this is what it looks like now. Super easy, and this is how it makes you feel. All right, so now we're going to start talking about the different features and what ESGI actually looks like, okay? So here are your easy assessments. You are just going to have all of the tests that you want selected, and they're going to show up when you have a student's name selected. All you do is literally just click test, and it will have this pop-up will pop up, and it will ask you if you want to test incorrect items or you want to retest everything. So you can either just test the things that they've missed in the past, or you can retest on everything, which is a great little option. But this is what you're going to see, and the child is going to see when you start your testing. So right now we are testing on lowercase letters. They will see the letter that you would like them to say, and then you're either going to click yes or no, and it's going to keep track down here of how many they've answered, how many you have left to go, and then there's a spot over here where you can take notes. Say I wanted them to say this letter sound, and they say Y makes a W sound. Okay, well, no, but I can make a note of that over here, that they got it confused with the letter W. Okay, so lots of different little features and super easy testing, but the best part, you guys, look, it's all organized for me. Everything that I could possibly ever need to know. I don't have to keep track of a single thing. It does it for me. So right next to the test button that you would have clicked to give the test, there's a history button. You click on history and it will generate this report that shows the history of all the tests that student has taken. And it will show you the progress that they've made throughout the year. Amazing, right? You can even click on details. And this is going to show you exactly what test session. So this child has actually tested on lowercase letters 17 times. This is test session 17. It tells you how long the session was. It tells you the date and time that they took the session. It tells you exactly the letters that they got correct and exactly the letters that they got incorrect. But if you click on this little drop down, it will also give you every single date and time that they have taken this specific test, and it will give you all the information that you need to know about that specific test session. That has come in great handy for me. My superintendent has asked me for histories on students before, and me over here looking like a rock star have all of this information, but really, you don't have to be a rock star. This does not have to be your strength. ESGI helps you make it a strength for you, okay? Here is what your homepage is going to look like. And your homepage is going to be your navigator to anywhere you want to go in ESGI. It makes it so simple and user-friendly. So over here on the left side is going to be your class list, your class roster. Here are all of the tests that I have for my class. And these are the different tabs that I have. You can organize your tests under different subject tabs. You can make as many or as few as you want. I usually, for my specific kindergarten class, usually have maybe 2 or 3 tabs. I'm not a fan of over-tabbing things, but I know a lot of people like to have lots of, different folders for things. And then over here are all of the different places that you can navigate to on ESGI. If you ever get lost, just click on the ESGI symbol and it will take you back to the home page, and anywhere you need to go is right here on the home page. Super user-friendly. Okay, so the first thing you probably want to know is about the tests, about the assessments that are offered in ESGI. There are so many tests to choose from. Okay, you've got your generic, specific, standards-based tests in ESGI, but you also have Friends of ESGI. And the Friends of ESGI are all of the people who have authored specific tests for you. So you've got Donna White. Let's say you've got, let's say you use Regan Tunstall's math units. Guess what? Regan has specific math tests that go along with her units in ESGI. Let's say you use Dee Dee Wills and Deanna Jump's guiding readers units. Guess what? There are specific tests that align to that in ESGI. We have Adam Peterson, who is a Illinois kindergarten teacher. He has kids assessments, Illinois kids assessments in ESGI for you. There are Texas teachers who have created TEKS specific tests for you. So anything you need most of the time is already here in ESGI. All you have to do is click on Test Explorer, okay? And then you can search. You can search by grade level, you can search by author, you can search by content area, or you can just use this to type in your search, okay? But let's say that there's a specific test that you want. For example, I like to have my first quarter sight words test, because every school kind of has different expectations as to how many kindergarten sight words you're going to teach that year. And we kind of all teach them in a different order too. So I like to have my specific test. It's so easy for you to create your own test. Look at this. All you do is on the right side, you click Create New Test. And do you want to know how easy it is? You can literally copy your list, say from a Word document or something, copy your list of sight words, paste them in, and it will generate the test for you. Literally. Create new test, copy, paste, generate the test. And then you've got it. You name it, you save it under the tab you want it saved under, and there it is. But there's also a really cool new little feature, the image gallery. Maybe I shouldn't say new feature, but it has amazing images in it now. They've updated it. It looks amazing. So you're going to click on Image Gallery if you want, say, a counting test or something like that, and you need images. Just click on that. You can search for whatever the image is that you want and insert it into your test. So there's all different kinds of tests that you can create. And when ESGI says, click, done, it's for a reason. Like, everything you do in ESGI is as easy as a couple of clicks. It's amazing. Okay, they also have, this is a brand new feature. Now, this is a really cool feature. It's something you don't necessarily have to use, but it's here if you need it, okay? So let's say you have a student that is easily distracted, okay? They want to look at if you're clicking yes or no, they get upset if they get something wrong, and they're really watching your every move to see if you're typing in any notes. And they might say, oh, let me try that one again. Or they just get a lot of anxiety over you clicking on this no button. Okay, if you've got a student like that, all you have to do, this is going to be on the right side again on your home page. All you have to do is click on Launch Student Screen. Okay, this will be your pop-up. It says Student Screen Code. It's going to give you a very short 3 or 4 digit little code. And then your student is going to navigate to ESGISS.com on their device. Now, on their device, the first thing they're going to see is a place to put this code in. So you're going to give them the 3 or 4 digit code to type in, and then it will launch their screen. Yours will look exactly how it always does. Okay, you click on test, and then your screen's going to look like this with the yes, no's at the bottom, the place for your notes and everything. Theirs is just only going to have the question. There's nothing to distract them. So theirs is just going to be a blank page with the question on it. And I would recommend sitting face to face, so there's no, they're not tempted to look over your shoulder and look at your device. But this is just a stock photo that I found. So that's the one I used. But a really cool feature, again, not something that you have to use, but it's cool to have there. Okay, parent letters are my absolute favorite feature in ESGI. This makes communication, you guys, so easy. I use these just to send home as a little update. You can use these for parent-teacher conferences. They are perfect for parent-teacher conferences, for progress reports. Anytime a parent calls in and just says, how is so-and-so doing? What can we work on? Print out a parent letter. Every single thing they need to know is right here. So for your parent letters, again, it's going to be on the right side of your homepage. You just click on parent letters. Then you can either select for your whole class, or you can select, say, I want just information for Aiden Hernandez. I really need to send home a progress report to his parents. So let's say I click on Aiden. Then I can either select all of his skills, or say his mom just wants to know which lowercase sounds he still needs to know. So I can just select whatever skills I want. Then I click View Parent Letter. Okay, it's going to generate this PDF parent letter for you. Now, if you've got all of your students selected, it will generate a whole entire PDF document of all of your students for you. If you just got one single student selected, it will just generate theirs. But it's amazing. It's got a little note at the top, Dear so-and-so, here is what your child knows, basically, and here is what they don't know. And it shows them specifically, here are the letters they got. They got 4 out of 26 correct, and here are the 4 that they got correct. And then here are the ones that they got incorrect. So it's very specific, very easy to understand, very user-friendly. And literally all you do is click view that, print it, send it to the printer, and you've got it to send home. Click, click, done. Amazing. But there's some really cool features with this parent letter that are nice to know about too. Let's say you have some ESL kids in your class. Now, to change the language of your parent letter, you're going to go to your class list that's on your homepage. Next to each one of your kids' names on your homepage, there's going to be this little pencil when you hover over it. That just means edit, right? That's the symbol for edit. So you click on that little pencil and see over here where it says preferred language. Click that drop down, and if they speak Spanish, select Spanish. It will automatically generate the Spanish version of the letter for you. It's that easy. Now, if your student speaks a language besides English or Spanish, there is a new feature. You can, again, you're just going to go to your class list, click on the pencil, and under preferred language, there is one that says other language. Now, this one is not going to generate it automatically for you, but it kind of gives you the template of the things you need to change, and you would have your translator type in the words that they need to translate it into whatever language you need it for. So you've got the choice of English, you've got the choice of Spanish, and then you've got the choice of other language, okay? So pretty awesome. And then this was not on here a couple of years ago, you guys, and it is a game changer, okay? You can add a grading scale to your parent letters. Stop it right now. Okay, so you can add your grading scale. There are lots of them already in here for you to choose from. So I like this one. It is just a, standard, perfect little grading scale. Though, if you're used to using letters like excellent, satisfactory, non-satisfactory, or needs improvement, or, whatever it is that you use, a lot of those are in here as well. But it gives you the code, the grading scale code, and then it shows you what the translation is. So a 4 would be exceeds expectation. A 3 would be meets expectation. A 2 is progressing, and a 1 is not meeting the expectation. And then over here, it shows you the rubric. It shows you the range, okay? So to get a 4, they would have to get 90 to 100% correct. To get a 3, they would need to get 80 to 89% of the questions correct, okay? So you don't even have to enter those grades, you guys. ESGI knows the percentages for that specific student. It automatically generates it and puts it into that parent letter for you if you choose to do it that way. So now you can use these as your official report card if you choose to do it that way. Or you can align your report card to show exactly the way it would look on your ESGI if there's more skills that you want to add to your official report card. But, I mean, it does not get any better than this, right? And so easy. But you can also, there's a feature on the right side where it says student progress. You just click on that and you can see their progress. Right here, this is the end of the year, so it shows you their baseline. It shows you how they did first quarter, second quarter, third quarter, fourth quarter. And this is ideal. This is exactly what you want it to look like, right? All E's in fourth quarter. But these also, print that out, stick them in your permanent files if you have to put grades in your permanent records. There you go. Print those out, clip them in, done. So many cool features. ESGI also has an option for some different resources for you that are specifically tailored to the individual student's needs. Okay, so I liked to use these flashcards because it was literally just a click, print them, then you'd cut them and put them. I liked to put them on a little binder ring and hang them by the door because it never failed. I'd be in the middle of teaching a lesson. And so knock, knock, knock on my door. Somebody's coming in to pull a resource kit and asking you, what do you want me to work on today? Then you've got to stop your lesson. You've got to go dig through and find something for them to work on. Okay, so having these available, this is specifically what this student needs to work on. And they look like this. They have their little name up in the corner, the date that you printed this out, so you can kind of track and see, well, on, this date, they didn't know the letter F, but say you tested them later on in October, and now they do, so you can see that they're progressing and they're learning their letters. And you can do this for any skill. ESGI will print out anything that student needs to work on. So it's just a real quick, easy little thing that they can do, especially if they're getting pulled for resource or somebody needs to work one-on-one with them. It's just a great little easy resource. But ESGI also is coming out with games now. How exciting is that? So now you can not only have the flashcards ready as an activity, but also print out bingo cards. that are specifically tailored to that student. So their bingo cards are going to have all of the letters, depending on how big you print, 4x4 or hard, easy, how many squares they have to cover. But it's going to be letters that they still need to work on, or whatever the skill is. Numbers, whatever, addition, subtraction, whatever the skill is that you're working on. It's going to ask you some questions. Are you going to be doing this in the classroom, at the student's home? How many unique calling cards do you want? How many students are going to play? Things like that. And then so you just click download, and that can be a great game when parents are asking, what can we work on at home? Well, here's a fun little game that you guys can play together to reinforce the skills that they need to be working on. So fun, so easy. Here is item analysis. Again, right column, you click on item analysis, and it's going to show you these graphs. This is for your whole entire class. It shows you by skill. So here's lowercase letters. I can see that this many students know the letter A, the lowercase letter A in my class. This many students are able to identify the letter K in my class. So this is great for you as the teacher when you're planning your lessons and your curriculum. You can very easily see my whole class has mastered this. We don't need to spend much time on this, but this is what we still need to work on. Or it can be like, oh, well, this makes sense. We haven't focused on this letter yet. So once next week, when we get to that letter and we really focus on that letter, you would expect to see your graph grow. So just a great little visual resource for you as the teacher. And here's another one that's great for you as the teacher. This comes in handy for pinpointing your struggling students, okay? So you can just take a quick look and see, like, here's my baseline. Wow, these kids have mastered already. This one, might be somebody I want to refer for title. These are kids I might want to refer for Title I. So instead of just going off your gut feeling, say it's October, you've been in school for a couple of months now, you always have that gut feeling like, I think this kid is going to need a little bit of help, a little bit of extra resource, So principal comes to you, resource teacher comes to you. Who do you want to refer for Title I? Who do you think is going to need some extra help? There you go. Pull up that graph, and yes, you still need to go off of your gut instinct, but then you can double check. Is what I'm feeling like aligning with these numbers? These are kids that definitely need some help in these areas. So it helps with, referring kids, and just like parents, we really need to work on this and reinforce this at home if they're asking what they can do at home, or these are skills that we really need to reinforce in small groups. So it's a great little visual for you. And then the all-important question right now, assessing virtually. That is what this conference is all about. Teaching virtually anywhere. Whether you're full in-person teaching at school, I've shown you how to do that with ESGI. Whether you're hybrid or you're 100% virtual, you can use ESGI and you can use it easily, okay? So if you are wanting to test a student from home, it's actually very easy to do. We're all using some kind of platform, like Zoom is a very popular one. So I'm just using Zoom as an example here. And my buddy, Adam Peterson, check out his YouTube channel if you have any questions or need some help. He's got some great little tutorials on how to do things on his YouTube channel with ESGI, some tips, tricks. But he had this video of him assessing someone virtually. So I stole a little screenshot from his video, so I didn't have to remake one myself. So you will see Adam in this picture, but here's how easy it is. So you are going to launch your Zoom meeting. Okay, so you're going to be able to be talking to your student and then have your ESGI testing or your ESGI page open on your screen. And then all you have to do is share your screen, okay? Do a screen share. And then you will be able to see the student and talk to the student, but they and you will be able to see the screen, and you can easily administer your ESGI test through your Zoom meeting, one-on-one with your student while they're sitting in their home, on their couch, or wherever you're teaching from and wherever they're learning from. So it is that easy to use ESGI virtually. So this last quote just says, "My time is precious." Your time is precious. Our time is so precious. I've talked about that a lot throughout this whole little session. Okay, we have lives outside of teaching, and a lot of times teaching consumes a lot of our time. But ESGI, that makes ESGI priceless, because it is going to save you so much stress, so much worry, and so much time. It's going to give you so much time back to your life to be able to do the things that are important to you, like self-care. So I encourage you, and I know as a kindergarten teacher, especially right now, you have a million things on your plate, and I am totally guilty of this. Like this might seem like just one more thing that you've got to log on and really check out and get a feel for, but I encourage you, take an hour, take a little bit of time. It doesn't take a lot of time at all. Set up your free trial. You will get it for 90 days, and literally all you have to do is copy your class list, paste in your kids, select a couple of assessments, and you're ready to roll, and you can try it out. Okay, you'll get it free for 90 days. And be sure to use the code TEACHCON, it's TEACHCON, okay? And you will save $50 off of your first year should you decide to purchase ESGI after your 90-day trial is up. And share it with your friends, because they need to get in on this too, right? Because I am telling you, ESGI is life-changing. I can't even tell you how much easier your life will be and how much time it is going to save you. So make sure you do that. Share it with your friends, and thank you guys so much for tuning in and joining me. I hope I answered some of your questions, and thank you for watching.